I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, Juneteenth, brought to you partially by Stay Tough Fencing. Stay Tough manufactures one of the broadest lines of high tensile and low carbon fences on the market, plus a full line of tools and accessories. Stay strong, stay tight, stay tough with Stay Tough Fencing. Be glad you're not in India. Most of you could potentially be homeless. Recently, Indian authorities bulldozed the homes of 11 families after finding beef in their refrigerators and cattle in their backyards. In Madhya Pradesh, cow slaughter is punished by 7 years in jail, and you're guilty until proven innocent. India is predominantly Hindu. They worship cows there, and it's usually the Muslims that are found guilty of consuming beef or having beef in their refrigerators and cows meant for slaughter on their place. But that's pretty tough. You guys think it's tough over here. We wouldn't be getting along very good over there. We didn't have any negotiated fat cattle trade reported on Tuesday, but we did have fat cattle and auctions get up and almost touch that $2 a pound. So we're flying pretty high. Some of these grazing cattle, especially your bigger stockers, a little bit easier this week. I mean, almost all your cattle that are going to be turned out for grazing on grass have been turned out. Calves, lighter calves are still pretty strong as people just want ownership of them. And bigger feeders are higher after last week's fat cattle trade, and there's just the complexion of the market. But you guys want to get your hands on some good grass cattle. Don't forget about the Coffeyville Stockyards Blue Stem Special. It's a video auction there at the Cross Bell Ranch in Copen, Oklahoma. They're going to have 20,000 head of grass cattle. It's going to be on June 29th there at the Cross Bell Ranch. Dinner at 4:30, the sale at 5. It's family friendly. They invite you to come out, bring the family. It's going to be broadcast on DV Auction. I'm going to be there to collect the online bids. That's going to have some really nice cattle there for midsummer delivery, guys, if you're interested in some of those. I've got to give a correction on Tuesday's feeder flash. I was quoting the Callaway Livestock Center there on Monday's sale, and I talked about the Brad Griffin steers from Carroll County Feeders. There were 75 head of them, weighed 677, and they bring 304. I think I quoted them in the 250 range there. I did a Ron Burgundy or a President Magoo, just to have it mixed up what was written down on my cheat sheet, and I went ahead and read it there. But I don't want to be found guilty of saying 4 more years, pause, and then have a funny look on my face. But let's talk about your board for Tuesday. June live cattle futures down 37 cents at 186.67. August was down 70 at 182.10. Your back months on live cattle down 20 cents to down 75. All lower, but not terribly. Feeder cattle for August were down 137. A lot of that could be blamed on higher corn on Tuesday. But August feeder cattle ended trade at 259.95. September was down 145 at 261.12, and your back months on feeder cattle down $1.25 to down 152. July corn up 6 1/4 cents, back up to 450 a bushel. Beans up 16 1/4 cents at 11.74. These are all for July. And Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 4 3/4 cents at $6.75 a bushel. Fat cattle trade, like I mentioned earlier, no direct cattle trade reported in your 5-area feeding region at all, after we quoted some on Monday in Iowa at 192 and in Oklahoma at 188. We would like to see that get established. But we had a fat cattle market, the biggest fat cattle market in the nation there. DV Auction broadcaster also at Stockman's Livestock Market in Yankton, South Dakota. That 1,060 head in overnight. 1,800 head for the fat cattle auction on Tuesday in Yankton, South Dakota. Conventional fat cattle with no bells and whistles, just straight up fat cattle, bring from 186 to 194.50, which was $2 to $5 higher, kind of catching up with last week's direct trade. Your program cattle, either non-implanted or drug-free, sell steady to $5 higher, from 192 to 199.50, and that top price was quoted on 20 head of big black baldy prime quality steers there, weight almost 1,800 pounds, weight 1796, and bring 199.50. Heck of a ticket. How about box beef cutout values? They were mixed. Choice cuts up a nickel at 320.52, and selects down 61 cents at 304.21. Your slaughter up through Tuesday, 2 days of the week, 239,000. That was down 5,000 from the previous week and down 12,000 from the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Performance Livestock Analytics. With Performance Beef, that is an easy to use app that tracks, stores your feeding, your performance, and health records all in one easy place on your cattle, guys. For more information, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Talk about the feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Tuesday set at 250.218, down $1.79, which was a little bit surprising there, but you get more odd sales going on compared to what was crazy going on late last week and over the weekend. It'll fall a little bit. Your latest available CME cash feeder cattle index sitting way up at 257.07, and it's likely going to peel off of that just a little bit in the coming days. Don't forget about some big sales coming up. Joplin Regional Stockyards is going to have a value added preconditioned special on Thursday, expecting about 5,000 head of preconditioned calves, and the quality will be outstanding. A lot of bigger bunches, some of their best consigners save those cattle up for those value added specials. And also on Thursday, Elite Livestock sales down in Montgomery, Alabama, based out of there. They're going to have 31 loads of mostly all yearling cattle there, and then they won't be bad for feeding in the summertime, guys. Get on to DVAuction, look up Elite Livestock sales, and they've got the videos posted for those 31 loads of cattle going to be selling on Thursday. Joplin Regional Stockyards also going to be having a prime time livestock sale video, and that'll be on Thursday to follow the value added special. Talk about your big sales on Tuesday. Ozarks Regional Stockyard in West Plains, Missouri had 2,100 head through the ring, another 1,120 through their in-house video they do with help from DVAuction. But through the ring, the calves were steady to $6 higher. Feeders were steady to $2 higher. Not a lot of producers in the sale there because hay harvest is in full swing, and they are getting a lot of rolls of bales off those hay fields, guys. But an individual quote out of West Plains there that I thought was really impressive was 59 steers weighed 914 and bring 246. Your National BeefWire stick-out sale of the day was from Beaver County Stockyards. It was the Feeder Flash Beaver Clash, guys. I was on hand there. They had over 4,000 head. Really good sale and a lot of buying power in the seats, both from local feed yards, those going up into Kansas and way up into northern Kansas, and even some Nebraska buyers on the seats there at Beaver County Stockyards on Tuesday. They had a lighter test of grazers, and they were a little bit easier, but the really good test of big feeders, and they were higher all the way around, and the quality was outstanding, guys. Look at your automated marker report out of Beaver County Stockyards. They had 377 head and the best tested weight of 8-weight steers, and they weighed 873 with a weighted average price of $244.20, weighing that close to 900 pounds, guys. 402 head of 9-weight steers averaged 958 with a weighted average price of $238.79. Not on your automated marker report, they had about 500 head of 1,000 to 1,100 pound steers selling in big drags. They sold from $224.50 to $235.25. Look at your heifers, the best tested weights. 301 head of 6-weight heifers averaged 664 at 257.43. There were 280 head of 7-weight heifers. They averaged 735 at 243.96. And 452 head of 8-weight heifers averaged 859 pounds at 229.79. Auctioneered there for about 2.5 hours, including in my run was 113 head of big steers, weighed 992 and bring 237.75. Thought that was pretty impressive, guys. How about some individual quotes from all around? How about Producers Livestock in Salina, Utah? Way out west there, guys, and up north. They sell 65 big steers, weighed 975 at 248. Wow. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Kenny Rezac Livestock Commission in St. Mary's, Kansas. It was 64 steers, weighed 808 at 268. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.